Could the 49ers be trading for wide receiver Jordan Addison this offseason? Well, we're going to be diving into it on today's edition of Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. So we'll talk about that on the front half of today's show. And then the second half of today's show, I have my ideal Jordan Addison trade. Can't wait for you guys to see that one. But this was reported by Niners journalist, Niners credential member, whatever you want to call it, YouTuber, Grant Cohn. He did put out a Twitter video yesterday talking about the 49ers and pretty much put it out there that the 49ers have made calls about Jordan Addison already this offseason. Makes a lot of sense. Niners want to get faster, more explosive on the outside. Maybe they're thinking they could get Jordan Addison for a bargain with his trade value maybe being a little lower with all the off-the-field stuff. So it does make some sense on why San Francisco would be calling about Jordan Addison. But also I think there would be many teams calling the Vikings about Jordan Addison this offseason. And I probably would too. Like if you're a team that needs a wide receiver and a guy that could potentially be a low-end wide receiver 1, but a high-end wide receiver 2, and also knowing the Vikings might not be too warm with Addison right now. Maybe they don't want to commit to him long term. I'd be calling, but also if I was the Vikings, I'd be a little hesitant to trade him. But I do want to throw it back to a quote Kwesi had on Jordan Addison at the end of the year press conference saying 99% of the days that Jordan Addison is a Viking, he's a joy to be around. He's incredibly intelligent, confident, responsible, and like all of us, what do you like on those 1% of those days? Obviously, that's something we have to consider when you're talking about long-term ramifications. We'll have those conversations, obviously, just a few days after the season. And obviously, this event just happened, talking about when he was arrested in Tampa, but always supportive of Jordan Addison. We'll continue to fact-find and see what actually happened, and then we'll have those conversations in the future. Now, I will say this on Jordan Addison. And you might say, Patrick, you're crazy for this. You're not getting a first-round pick for Addison. Well, that's what I'm putting the asking prices. I'm not trading Jordan Addison unless it's for a first-round pick. The main reason why, the Vikings have team control for the next 2 seasons for just under $22 million. The Vikings don't need to move Addison. They have him under contract. Like, there is no reason why that the Vikings should be able to move Addison because they have him under control for the next 2 seasons, just under $22 million. You can pick up his 5th-year option. It's $17.5 million. Addison is worth that price tag because I'm telling you this right now. What if Addison was never on the Vikings and I just said, hey, Jordan Addison, NFL free agent wide receiver, would you sign him to a 2-year, $21.9 million contract right now? All of you guys would say yes. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that maybe the Vikings use this all off-the-field nonsense to their advantage and say, let's try to get Jordan Addison on a team-friendly deal. What if they signed him to a 4 for $80 contract? 4 years, $80 million. I would do that in the heartbeat. He's incredibly productive at the wide receiver position. I mean, especially his rookie year, he was great. 911 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's always doing a great job. Great route runner as well. And I think he's also a guy, even though drops were an issue this season, he's looked more athletic year after year after year. So that's great. So listen, I wouldn't trade Addison for a unless it's for a first-round pick, but I don't think a team's going to offer you a first-round pick. It's probably going to be around this range. At least I would hope. Like, I wouldn't want the Vikings to trade Addison for like a 3rd and Ricky Pearsall, for example. I would hope they could get some premium draft capital. And this deal, I'm probably saying no to it. The Vikings get the 48th pick in the draft, a 2027 5th. The Niners get Addison. One, if you trade Addison, wide receiver does become a pretty big position of need. And for the 58th pick, I'm probably saying no. But you guys let me know. Would you accept this deal? Give me an A for accept. Give me a D for decline. You guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'm saying no to this. I think you could get more for Addison. Maybe a team won't offer a first. And if a team doesn't offer you a first, okay, then you just move on. Now, I do think there's one team that could call the Vikings and get a first. And that's the Buffalo Bills. If the Vikings were able to get the Bills' first-round pick, which right now is sitting at 26, maybe I would consider it. Addison for the 26th pick. I don't think Buffalo would do that, but that's where I would go. I would call Jordan Addison, or call the Buffalo Bills and say, we'll give you Jordan Addison for the 26th pick. Now, there's obviously going to be a ton of other teams interested in Addison. I think you could throw in the New England Patriots. The Cleveland Browns, for example, the Baltimore Ravens, if they want to add more receiver talent around Lamar Jackson, the Tennessee Titans, if you want to get a guy around Cam Ward, the Las Vegas Raiders desperately need a wide receiver. So, I think the Vikings could be very stingy with these with these trade negotiations, because the Niners, if you get the 58th pick and a future fifth for Addison, I would be pretty upset with that trade value that you could get in return, because he's just too good. Like, he's better than that. He makes too much of an impact out there. He's one of the better wide receivers in the league. I'm saying no to all those deals, but if you guys disagree, let me know your thoughts down below. Now, I'll talk about Jordan Addison trade I'll do here in a second, but let me tell you about today's sponsor, and that is Factor Meals. Now, if you guys head on over to factormeals.com/VikingsChat50 off and use promo code VikingsChat50 off, we'll hook you guys up with 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Now, the new year is here, which means you guys probably got some pretty big goals, and if you guys don't have any time to cook, well, Factor makes it easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs, so you can eat well without all the shopping or cooking. Now, I love Factor because they got no refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no refined seed oils, and meals that fit your goals and schedule. Healthier eating, calorie management, and more protein. They have over 100 rotating weekly meals. These options include high protein, calorie smart, GLP-1 support, and ready-to-eat salads. So hit that link in the comment section and description of today's show, and head on over to factormeals.com/VikingsChat50 off and use promo code VikingsChat50 off to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. This offer is only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easy with Factor. So here's my Jordan Addison trade, and I would do this in a heartbeat. Now, there is a tag on this trade. The draft has to be going on. Like, this is a draft day trade for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not doing this before the draft because I am making this trade for one specific player. You see it at the top of your screen. It's Caleb Downs. But let's just say the first 5 picks come and go in the NFL draft. And the Cleveland Browns are sitting there with the 6th pick, a team who needs a wide receiver, and they already have another first-round pick, thanks to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So maybe they want to be willing to get Jordan Addison, move back 12 spots. I think this is fair value because I am doing this for this guy, Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is absolutely fantastic. He is the best player in the 2026 NFL draft. If you were to take him at number 6, you are getting the best player by far in this draft. This guy is a faster Kyle Hamilton. He would be an absolute freak of nature in the Brian Flores defense. He's an elite tackler. He's got great instincts. He's a culture setter. His coaches, his teammates from Ohio State call this guy an old soul, rave about his mentality. He's got a physical mentality. If you go through on the tape with this guy, he is coming down and he is hitting, and he's an all-around football player. When he finally gets an interception, he looks like a running back. When he's returning punts, he looks like Devin Hester. This guy is one of the most special football players I have seen at the college football level, and I would be willing to take him. I would be willing to take him number 2 overall if I had the 2nd pick in the draft. And this guy's been a stud. Like, he was a true freshman starting at Bama back in 2023. A true freshman starting at Bama. That's fantastic. Was great in 2024. Had another great year in 2025. And since you do have Brian Flores returning as the defensive coordinator, I'm serious. Do whatever you can to land Caleb Downs. Like, this is almost on the level of, like, the Vikings going up there and trading for a quarterback. Like, I would do whatever you can because this guy is special. He would be a blue chipper. He would be a top 20 player in the National Football League, just like Kyle Hamilton is. I hear you on positional value, but if this guy's a game changer, if he is the difference between wins and losses, and also if you get Caleb Downs on the back end of this defense, Vikings defense was top 5 last season. If you get Caleb Downs, you are potentially going to have the best defense in the National Football League with them. And I think he's that much of a difference maker. And also, I would be willing to move off Addison to go get him because of all the off-the-field stuff. Like, I hear Addison's a fantastic player, but to move up 12 spots and land Caleb Downs, I would do it. And I think the Vikings would be more than willing to do that as well. And, I will say, with all the stuff going on with Addison, the speeding during his rookie year, rest on the suspicion of DUI, like all the stuff that's going on with them, I still trust in Addison and getting it together. And that's why the only trade, I would do would be the Caleb Downs trade. Like, I'm not trading him for, a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick. That's not what I'm doing. I am trading Addison if it's like I am for sure getting a really good player in return, and that's what Caleb Downs would be. So that trade of Addison, the 18th pick, sending it all up to number 6 in the draft to go get Caleb Downs, I would do it in a heartbeat. But overall, I'm not trading Jordan Addison. But you guys let me know. Should the Vikes trade him? Give me a T for trade. Give me a P for pass. You guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Overall, probably not doing it unless it's a go land Ohio State safety, Caleb Downs. But we'll get on out of here. As always, let's go Vikes.